All right. Well, how are you doing today, Crawfy?
Better. Oh, I
Better.
could be better, but it doesn't matter.
Um,
That
how
doesn't matter. We're here now.
how long have you been playing Melee?
I played from 2013 to 2015, and then I started again 2020.
Okay. How how do you feel you're doing in the game up to this point? Like as a
Fine,
competitor.
fine, but there's a lot that I still don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot that I could improve on.
What are your goals in Melee?
I don't really have one, TBH. I
Okay.
just wanna learn the things I don't know and
You
get
just,
better at the things that
you
I'm
just
not.
wanna you just wanna fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So our focus today is Marth versus Samus, at least to start. Did you want to fight my Samus, or go straight into watching Zane versus Weavins, or did you want to just discuss it? We can do either.
Let's just start with watching it.
Okay.
Watching Zane. Hello.
So I'm gonna go over. Oh yeah, and you brought up how to make profit from corner pressure.
Yeah, you
Um,
got that up there.
yeah. So the first thing I'm gonna discuss about that is melee. Melee is king of the hill. There are many ways to control your space on the hill. Damage knocks people down it, but it's not the only thing that makes them fall off. The other things that makes them fall off is resources. Corner pressure is respecting the resources, or respecting the value of taking resources more than the value of always wanting damage or immediate kills. In the case of Samus and Peach, they have unique resources you can take that they use to recover that makes them annoying to edgeguard. Float slash teach Ock Peach double jump and grapple double jump bombs for Samus. These options can be used in any order and thus taken in any order on as they come. So, does this paragraph make sense?
Uh, Not for Samus
Okay.
because her resources are so good and she just gets them back. Well, the bombs are never ending. The grapple, I don't know the rules on grapple, so I guess I could learn there. The double jump almost doesn't matter in my mind because as long as she has bombs, um, she can make it to grapple the stage. So seeing that what I just said, then um the real gem would be: do they have infinite grapples, or once they use it once, do they lose it
So
before landing again or something?
so in melee, whenever you know how you get double jumps back whenever you land on stage.
Yes.
You also get double jumps back if you get grabbed. Those are the two states that give you your double jumps back. Samus's Samus's grapple, she has to land on stage to get it back, just like her double jump. But sometimes she also won't get it back if you grab her or a few other weird states. Like it's kind of hard for her to get her grapple back sometimes, unless she lands in a specific way. But to simplify it, she gets one grapple per airtime. She has to
Okay.
land just like her double jump. Um, And bombs are infinite in number, but they're not infinite in height, and they're not infinite in usability. Because if you use them too close to the stage, Samus is kind of less flexible than you think she is, and you can like hit her for doing bad bombs a lot. So, a lot of really good Samuses will like put like a stage here and platform, platform, platform. They like once they're fighting against someone good, they never press the down B button in like these areas. But if you're not good, they can press down B right here, and then you won't punish them. So I think what we're going to see is Wevins is either never going to bomb here unless Zane is already in a kind of bad position, or if he does bomb here, Zane will like get under him and take advantage of it, and it'll be like a big risk. Like this should be a risk to use bomb right here.
Okay. That's good because I've never seen a Samus use them there. I'm a good player.
Nice, great. So, the one of the big things about bombs is that she can jump, like double jump out of them. So if you see Samus doing bombs down here and doing like the bomb bounce, she's probably gonna double jump aerial back to stage. So you can use bombs even though they're like a vaguely infinite resource as like a cue of what Samus's plans are to return to stage. And you can't grapple easily out of bombs, but you can jump easily out of them. So if she's bombing a lot, she probably won't grapple unless she like goes down to like this area, and then she'll start like air dodge grapples. But if she's all the way down here doing air dodge grapples, then you can just grab the ledge and sort of like rinse and repeat edge guard.
How is that? Is that because if I'm grabbing the ledge, she has to do that thing where she jumps up over me when she does the...
Yeah, if you wanna ledge refresh as much as you can against Samus once she's in this like green zone, so that when she throws her grapple at you, you're invincible, and then you can grab ledge and just hang out there, and she'll be under you, and she'll hope to God that you try and hit her. And if you're smart and you don't, and you just grab ledge, she'll go over you, and then you can rising up her. And then now she's, or like fair or back or whatever. And then now she's stuck in the air.
Without her grapple.
And quite possibly without her double jump too, if she isn't a very good Samus. And then all she has left stuck in like this zone is just up B and bombs, and then she gets pretty predictable from there. The way this usually plays out is Samus's will recover once using double jump, get knocked away twice, and then the second time using grapple, then get knocked away, and then the third time using the up B. So they kind of get 3 chances, or they'll like expend all resources to do a big jump grapple thing and just fly to ledge. But then that's like kind of risky. So if you like pay attention to what they're doing, you can see if they're like use one resource at a time Samus, or they blow their load and do every part of it at once Samus. And each of those are like easy to edgeguard in different ways. You just have to be like present for it. Is that making any sense?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to play some Samuses and see it, but I understand now that she has some. Not all of her resources are unlimited. I still feel I know that bombs are limited by like obviously like she's falling the whole time, but in my mind I still think of them as like, you know, she's never gonna run out of bombs. But these other but grapple and double jump can be taken away.
Yes,
is how I'm feeling about that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be looking for those.
And corner pressure in Melee is trying to get especially Peach and Samus to go off stage and start expending resources. So if you can like, if you're like D-tilting at Samus, like a D-tilt does like 8% or whatever, but if you can get her off the stage and then she tries to double jump back with her forward air and you F smash her, suddenly she's off stage without a double jump, and regardless of what percent she's at, you can get a kill. You can like gimp Samus consistently if you like are really present with what resources she has and how she like panics. Okay, that's double jump used. That's grapple used.
Now she doesn't have either.
Yeah,
But
now all she has is bombs.
See, the issue with bombs is that all of Marth's attacks send her up and away. So she's every time she gets hit, she's gonna get her height back, her bomb, her bomb juice back, because all of his moves send her up there anyway. And right there, she landed on stage again. I saw.
Yeah, but that's just because Zane let her land, and while she was in the in lag of the Nair, he got the F smash.
Okay.
Zane, so right here, he does a full hop out to bait a counter hit. His goal is for Samus to land with the Nair, because just like you said, all of Marth's aerials are just not going to kill her. Zane wants to kill her, and he knows she has no resources. And remember how I said that once she has no resources, she gets predictable? This is exactly what happens. All he's doing is just baiting a predictable, punishable option, and then punishing.
Okay.
That F smash, that tipper F smash, it like looked really simple because all he did was jump backwards, fade back in, F smash. That was it, and it makes it look like edge guarding this really. Samus is a good character that's hard to edge guard. He made it look really simple, and Wevins isn't dumb. Wevins is a good player, and he knew he was kind of out of options and had to either fast fall to ledge or nair. And he probably knew the second he put out that nair that he fucked up and he should have just fallen to ledge.
Yeah.
But even if he did fall to ledge, he wouldn't get his grapple back. He'd only get his double jump back. So it would still be like a struggle. Because grabbing ledge doesn't give grapple back. Here, let me write that down.
That's a general thing too. Whenever, for all characters, whenever I'm trying to shark, and I want to end the sharking, because what happens to me a lot is I'll hit you with like 5 up airs and 2 up tilts, but you're never gonna die. And so I'll say, well, okay, well, I need to hit them with F smash, and I'll try to hit them with F smash while they're falling. Should I do more of what Zane did here, of like let them try to fall on me with an aerial and move out of the way and F smash that?
So,
I'm sorry to take it off course, but this
no, this is totally fine. That's a pretty key part of juggling in Melee, is kind of mixing up if you're just going to hit him with weak hits again, or if you're expecting the counter hit to hit with a strong hit. Because every character's like strongest moves, like Fox up smash, Zane, or Marth F smash, Sheik down smash, a lot of those moves are on the ground that are like counter hit moves. So you want to mix up in this juggle state, because like Zane right here is doing the like standard juggle thing of just like hit a bunch, and then you would think he would do a double jump back air right here. He's like spaced for it intentionally,
Yeah.
but he doesn't do it. So it's just a matter of mixing up. So juggle states are a mix up for the juggler. Try not to worry about percent too much. Your goal is to make the opponent think you're going into the kill and end juggle state when you're actually in the continue putting on chip damage juggle state, and vice versa. So when you're juggling floaties, try not to worry about damage, try not to worry about kills. It's like really intuitive how damage and stuff like that leads to kills on fast fallers, but on floaties they don't play by those rules. Those characters, you just have to make them make a bad choice once and they get gimped even easier than Spaceys, kind of. So this like mix up of this jump out, I think Zane would have done the exact same inputs if Samus was at 110 or at 220. It's just the exact same mix up once you're above 100.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? It's like still the like juggle state mix up.
Yeah, because I think I kind of got that. I've enjoyed juggling lightweight characters, and I think the reason why is because I kind of started to understand that, but not really well. But I was like starting to understand like, don't play any different, no matter the percent. Just play the right way. Is as like thought out it was in my head. But it's this idea is what I was like getting at.
Yeah. The
So just play solid. Don't get desperate for it to end.
Well, just play solid, but also like you want to threaten deciding to stop playing solid and going for F smashes so that they let you keep juggling them even easier than otherwise. So you want to like have some desperation, but like make it intentional and like a controlled amount of like you want to make them not sure if you're just gonna keep playing solid or go for the kill move yet.
Okay.
Okay, so while Samus is in. Oh, did Samus double jump? I didn't realize.
I didn't see it. I think yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
she
right
jumped
there.
in, yeah.
Just a little one right there. So now Samus has no double jump, so she just has to
But she
fall
gets
to
it
ledge.
back right here.
Yeah, so now she has all her resources back. So Zane restarts the juggle state minigame, and that was him like going for the kill to end the juggle state, and it almost works. But he also like went for the kill in like a safe way, where like even though it whiffed, it wasn't a huge deal. That's a really key part. A really key part of juggling floaties is swinging in a way where it's hard to get counter hit. You'll see like lesser Marths when they're juggling Samuses get hit by like nairs and falling dares and stuff all the time. And Zane, we haven't seen him get counter hit a single time in the minute and a half this match has been going.
Yeah, I get hit by nairs all the time. I don't know what to do against it.
You can just like shield them or wait for Samus to get lower before we're trying to hit her.
After that side beat up till I would get bored. This is just like a mindset thing. Or not a mindset, whatever the word is, but like this, just how I feel about the matchup right here. My brain says that should have ended the stock.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that it's still going, but working on that.
Well, yeah, a lot of Melee is about appreciating and preserving advantage states, and you're allowed to be bored, but you're not allowed to be so bored that you start swinging in a way where the Samus gets counter hit. You should hone your hate of Samus into not letting her play the game, not into swinging in ways that lets her feel really, really smart for bombing in the air for 25 minutes. I have lost like 100 sets to Ice Climbers. I know exactly how you feel. I hate when characters don't die when they should die. I hate annoying characters. They suck. But you have to turn that hate into a tool. And you have to kind of like turn it into empathetically making your opponent hate playing the game. If you want to be fueled by hate, you can be. And this is how you do it. Don't give them the satisfaction of winning by playing slow. Samus players will use that as a tool on purpose, and then like you'll see that Wevins isn't doing that. He isn't like whenever he gets hit, he's not bombing forever. He's like fast falling down because it's not a tool that's going to work against Zane. Because Zane is immune to even needing this. Zane is just here to win. So if you want to stop getting bored, turn that boredom into anger. And then turn that anger into focus, and turn that focus into just like holding stage and not letting Samus get what they want, and then they'll bomb less for you because it won't be effective anymore. Does that help at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yes.
That was so silly.
I'm so mad that she just nares out of it, but that's what's supposed to happen. It's all right.
Yeah. Zaina's gotten nared out of a combo one time in 2 minutes, so he's that's why he's up 3 stocks to 1.5. So
He hasn't really been cornering her yet.
no, and that's because she's the Samus has been
Weapons is approaching.
yeah, Levins has been really aggressive out of the corner. I think I I think he would be corner pressuring if he was fighting against like someone who wants to play the like corner escape game. But Wevins just wants to fight, and Zane knows that he'll win that fight. So he's like, "Okay, come fight me. You can come fight me over here instead." And Zane is at 0, and he knows the risk of swinging too hard right here means he gets down smashed and could die at 0. So I think corner pressure at 0 against a Samus that you have a percent lead on, it makes sense to just let her come back to stage too. Samus's down smash is like the only down smash in the game that knocks people down at 0 and sends like behind like that. It is an insanely strong move, especially specifically against Marth. So I think that him dashing away here is him respecting down smash and knowing that Wevins wants to fight, which is dumb. Wevins should not be trying to fight.
I hope Wevins keeps fighting. He gave him a whole lot of space there. Now Zane might change his mind because Wevins wasn't approaching so much.
Yeah. This is what Zane was scared of, that down smash. And now Zane's cornered. Oh, yeah.
What a triangle jump.
Yeah. Oh, there's a double jump. Alright, you got a double jump back.
Pretty cool.
Zane is so sick. Oh my god, the power shield F smash? What a gamer.
Yeah, I should steal that.
Okay, I think we have a lot of good notes. Do we want to try playing a game? Playing a couple games of Samus Marth? Okay, what is your...
Hopefully my computer works. Mine is Craw793. It's the same numbers as yours, but in a different order.
That's fucked up.
Awful.
Wait, hold on.
Forever to start up. This wastes time.
That's okay.
I noticed that after that first interaction, which was very how fortuitous, it displayed the what you're talking about. Levins used both of the grapple and the double jump. But after that, we didn't get that again. We didn't get that same situation again.
That happens kind of frequently because once you show that so like Zane immediately showed that he had the ability to punish that kind of wasteful resource usage, and then we saw that Wevins was really careful the entire rest of the set, and then was playing in a like more aggressive, less resource intensive way. So he kind of like earned the respect of not entering that situation again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
they're playing safer.
Yeah.
They're being more careful with this stuff. But that just so then my question is like if they do play safe, if they don't give you those you know, the grapples and the double jumps, if they play really safe, that's the point where you just let them back on, like there's nothing you can do.
Well, that's where Zane just got to play the game, and they just got to fight each other instead of Wevins being off stage doing a bunch of goofy stuff.
Oh my gosh, it's just now scanning for ISOs.
What's your code again?
Craw793. Let me in.
Don't sweat it. I'm not bitchy about times.
I know I set up. Whoops. God damn it. I know I said I wanted to steal the power shield, but I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna instead just try the wave dash out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
just like in the video. What is it? It's ham. Yeah, I already got it. Okay. Hey, it's the same stage. Oh. Oh, I was so far away.
Mm-hmm. The grab is suck, but it is big.
See right there, I wanted to forward smash, but I thought, no. That seems like a lazy forward smash. I have no idea if it would have hit or not.
That was the biggest up tilt I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was waiting and I just got hit, but I was waiting. Which is gonna happen a lot, I guess. Oh no.
No ledge grab?
What is it doing that for?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, oops. I think I held down.
I didn't mean to do that. I don't know why I did that. I should have. That was my chance to try the wave dash away thing. And I knew it too, and I just didn't. I moved out of the way, but it was the wrong way to move out of the way. Oh, I didn't know you'd get on that fast.
Alright, that's my jump. I left his grapple.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
She almost made it back.
Yeah. A real Samus would have made it back. Okay, I think there's a lot of stuff to cover there. All right. So I think your biggest problem is that you get counter hit a lot when you're in advantage. That is my biggest focus. So
I feel like I don't know what advantage is, because anytime I'm in advantage, I just get hit anyways. So that sounds spot on. On top of that, I didn't. Aside from the wave dash away forward smash that I just wasn't doing, but I was recognizing it. Aside from that, I I wasn't able to spot any of the stuff that we were supposed to be working on.
So some of it was in there. I saw you taking action on it, but it's a more situational thing. I think the biggest thing we need to focus on is the counter hit situation. So I want to note. So I'm Samus, and I get a down throw nair. And once the down throw nair hits, I know that I don't get any follow ups, or after like I thought I might get down throw nair, but I didn't get hit, and I didn't like try and fight it, so I just like up there waveland and start hanging out up there instead. So it might just be a matchup experience thing of like knowing when you need to respect once you're not in advantage anymore. Because I was in advantage after the down throw nair, but then I just gave it up after I got hit. Okay. How much do you think about getting counter hit whenever you're in advantage states? Or are you treating this moment kind of like just like it's neutral?
I don't.
Tell me your thought process
think
here.
about it like that. I just think I'm trying. I want to juggle. Wait. Okay. Well, I don't know. I just get hit when I'm supposed to be winning. That's how I feel about it. That's the extent to it.
Well,
I get hit because I try to do something, and if I don't do something, I'll get hit anyway. For example, when I was waiting for you to do something else, and you just when you were recovering, and I was waiting so I could try to react to something, and you just fared and blew up my face.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
So
the like out of the edge guard sequence.
Yeah. Cause like I was like, oh okay, I'm looking for resources, double jump fair.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that happens a lot. It's like it's always either I go in to try to attack and I get hit attacking, or I don't attack and I try to react to something and I get hit waiting.
Do you
And
think
that's why I feel like I'm never in an advantage state?
Do you think that's a problem that's unique to you?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Well, how much time have you spent playing like non-Marth characters?
Me playing characters that are not Marth?
Mm-hmm.
Not too much.
Okay. I think a lot of problems like what you're describing can happen when you just don't understand characters' threat ranges very well. So like I don't expect you to have these heat maps like memorized, but this is the like threat range of characters out of shield. So here's like Falcon's threat range out of shield, and the closer it is to red, the earlier frames it is, and 7 is grab.
Where are we?
Huh?
Are you streaming something?
Yeah.
I'm not getting it.
Oh, let me try restreaming.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There we go.
Can you see it?
Yes.
So this is inedata.com heat maps. And the closer to red it is, the closer to frame 1 it is. So, and then we can just minimize it to just up air. And this is the threat range of up air at a shield. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this threat range isn't just how big the move is, it involves how much Falcon can drift in it. This is how much he can drift right and left. And that's why the dare threat range looks like this. So it's like a big square because he can drift all the way left and all the way right. And you can know all the frame data in the world about dare, but you don't know about Falcon's threat range with dare until you know how much he can drift with it out of shield. And this situation is, I think, you not really understanding how Samus's movement works. And
I also slid off too, but yeah, that's true. I get surprised by her horizontal air control.
yeah, so every character in Melee has like a unique amount they can jump from their double jump, like a like unique amount left and right. Here, let me go back to paint. So we have character.
Marth.
Yeah. Here's a sword. It's really small. Marth has a specific amount that he can jump out of shield or jump out of his double jump. He has like a specific shape to it. And then like Puff's shape in comparison is like this, right? This is all the directions Puff can go out of her double jump. And then you have like other random characters like Mario, and like Mario's is like a lot less steep than these two. And then so this is just like out of like double jumps, but there's also like fall angles, and Marth can like make a line like this whenever he falls, and he can't vary up his fast fall very much. But Samus, her fall speed, it's like slow, but her fast fall speed is fast. So Samus can make this shape, and you have to like account for this shape, and this like changes her threat range. And then like Fox, because he's always a fast faller, is like this shape. So this is like normal fall speed and then fast fall, normal fall speed, fast fall, normal fall speed, fast fall. But for Marth, Samus, and Fox, do these things make sense?
Yeah, that's cool.
So every character is totally unique in how they work with this stuff, which is very cool and also really fucking annoying because there's just so much random matchup shit you have to kind of learn and respect. And once you factor in like weight, what counter hit options they have, and like on this, we can add in that Fox has a fucking like shine that he can like stall out for a little bit. So then his suddenly has like a flat line in the middle of it, or he has up being a bunch of different directions, which like Marth doesn't have like quite the same thing. So every character has like massively different movement threat ranges to them, and you have to like learn them and respect how they change. And Samus's is really unique. She's the only floaty that has a really fast fall speed, which makes her kind of unintuitive to juggle. She has like annoying bombs, she has annoying grapples, she has an annoying double jump, but the thing that I think gets a lot of people is her fast fall speed. So, and I think that's exactly what I hit you with right here. Is you whiff, and then I wouldn't get the down air unless Samus could fall that fast, and then now I start my own punish string. And I think this problem might be uniquely bad for you if you have only ever like played Marth. And I think this problem is less bad for people who play a lot of different characters because it becomes more intuitive how to work around. Because like all of this is all like cool and unique, but these are just distinct limitations the different characters have. These are like problems they have to deal with as the players of those characters. And I think you don't understand what problems Samus players have, and you haven't like tried to learn what the problem is of being in the different situations are yet, because it's hard. It's a really difficult thing to do. But you know, that's why you're here. That's what I'm trying to explain.
I get hit by fairy again.
Yeah. I did try to warn you earlier that Samus likes to double jump and attack out of her bombs.
I know I can punish down smash, but the first time I was facing the wrong way, the other time I just wasn't ready.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or I messed up or something. Forgot.
Okay. Did this up tilt, did you want to kill with it? Was that your thought process?
I just wanted to hit you.
Okay. Ground moves.
That was a crazy miss, though. I'll say that's a crazy miss.
It is, but
it looked crazy.
Ground moves are much more dangerous to whiff than air moves because you have have no mobility once you input the move. 20. Is it how many frames is it from Marth up tilt?
I don't know. An amount.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. 39. No, 32. 32 versus if you tilt 32 versus if you fair jump fair 0. You have mobility the whole time. You're in the air, so you can avoid counter hits.
I didn't know what to do there. Dude.
Be selectively passive. Do not always be passive. Do not always be active. Right here, once you hit me up in the air, you are literally just standing here. You like do not move for a very long time. And
yeah, because I think the lesson I learned was you're not supposed to go out there and fight her, so I should just wait.
Well, that's not what Zane was doing. Zane was fighting.
Yeah.
I think you can do this sometimes, but I don't think this should be your baseline. And I think in like friendlies, you should be going out there especially, just to like learn how it works. And if you're stuck right here, and if you like don't, if you're this passive, you're gonna not intuit this stuff. You have to be really active to start intuiting this stuff. And like, whenever I play friendlies with like new characters or with like new players and stuff, I'm really, really aggressive, and I try to like interact with them as much as possible to learn how different players relate to these things. And I think being active gets you valuable data for how the player or character deals with pressure. Being passive gets you control at the cost of limited positioning, limited data, and limited breadth.
It feels like me when I stand there. It's really good when they're already like when I think that they're just gonna be there. So like that, I'll do that sometimes with more aggressive players, where like I realize that they just want to go and fight me, so I'll just wave dash back and just stand there, and they'll just fall into my arms. I feel
think
like it works better when the other person's a aggressive player, or they're playing aggressively.
I think that's a viable strategy versus a limited audience of players. And I think even against those aggressive players, you can get more than you think out of being more active yourself. I think passivity is a pretty bad habit to hold on to.
Well, it's not even a habit, because for the past 2 years I've been the player that is always pressing buttons, is always holding W, is always dash dancing or doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the past like 2 months I've been trying don't press buttons.
Yeah.
So
okay, that makes sense.
But here the reason, another thing that's happening here, and this is like a good broad example of like a struggle that I have, is that we're going into this game with the purpose, after having like analyzed something. So now I have a goal. I'm not just playing the game. I don't have anything I don't have like a specific combo to practice. I don't have like a specific move I'm trying to CC. It's just like vague neutral things.
Mm-hmm.
And so me not doing stuff is me trying to think, because if I don't think, then I'm just going to play the way I always play. But when I do think, everything moves too fast, and I end up, it looks like I'm just standing there, because I'm trying to be mindful of what I do and what I'm supposed to be working on. And and it just doesn't. It has this result.
That makes sense. I'm gonna share my perspective. I'm not sure if it's gonna be helpful, but just like what like my thoughts are when I hear that. Um, Melee is an extremely open-ended game in terms of like decision making and stuff like that. And I think being active in the game, what it does is do you play much? When's the last time you played Sudoku? Do you like know the rules of Sudoku?
I've never played it. I don't like puzzle games because I'm stupid.
Melee is a puzzle game. I'm sorry to break it to you. It is a puzzle game.
I'm also stupid here. So
So, whenever I'm active in Melee, I get to see a lot more of my opponent's decision making, and then I get to lock in that data of like player does X when Y, player does Z when A, and then I can form a bit of a relationship of those habits, and then when I approach with B, I have more information to more correctly guess what they might do, and thus the guessing game of Melee is actually easier because I have more information to work off of. That's like my perspective on it, is getting more information can overload, but it can also like lighten the load if you like let it in a way. I don't know if that actually helps you, but that's how I work with this problem. Does that make any sense?
it makes sense, but I'll try to keep it in mind. It's just the issue. The issue is I feel like I'm like a limited person. I'm not gonna be able to actually use this in a game. Like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, I get it. It makes sense. Logically, this makes perfect sense. But in the game, I'm not gonna be able to do it because I'm too slow.
Okay, I think there's three facets of skill in a Melee match that are each separate skills to learn that are all really fucking hard to learn. Player versus game, which is mechanics and information, matchup knowledge. Player versus opponent, playing your opponent, responding to their actions and decisions, not just like matchups. Like if I know everything about a matchup, then I'm not fighting the game anymore. I'm now just fighting the opponent and myself. If I have a really, really good mindset and I don't have nerves, then I'm only focusing on player versus like fighting my opponent or like learning about the game. And if I have a really good read on my opponent because they're like my little brother, then I only need to focus on like how the game works and how my own nerves work. So I think every player has a lot to work on in all three of these facets. And if you like break them down into separate things, I think it can make it a little bit easier to work with them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I forgot what put me on that train, but I felt like it might be helpful.
That's because I was saying that I understand logically that thing you said up there, the player does X, then the data gathering.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that logically, and that makes perfect sense to me, but I'm not going to be able to do it in game because I'm too slow.
Yeah. So this is where grinding out player versus game comes in. Uncle Punch. Frame data. Frame data nerds, you think that okay, a lot of them when they're playing they are thinking about frame data, but a lot of them I'm like a big frame data nerd, and whenever I'm playing in a bracket match, I actually am not thinking about it at all because I already know all this shit. So when I'm in a match versus like Haunter or Silent, I don't need to think about this because I know what they are. I know what that means. I know what knockbacks and shit. So I just get to focus on my opponent and on myself. So I think this idea falls purely under player versus opponent, and I think you might have like not unlocked this facet of the game yet because you're still stuck in player versus game. Because it sounds like this would be information overload because you're also having to learn like the game mechanics at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm not sure what I'm missing though from player versus game. Well, it
that includes like this stuff. This is all player
Yeah.
versus game stuff.
But then I think like, well, I know Spacey's pretty well.
And
But
I
then I'll
think
just-
when
I'll
you
just-
fight Spacies, you get to focus on your opponent a lot more, and you can incorporate this kind of thing more
I guess that makes sense.
because you're more comfortable in that kind of matchup.
Because that's the only time that I. That's the two in the last two tournaments. It was against Foxes and Falcos that I was like, oh, I noticed this guy plays different from this guy, and like, oh, this person was playing it this way, or this person was playing neutral like this as opposed to this one. So it's like, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I was like watching your sets on last Tuesday, and I was like impressed with the like, because I was like getting Pi to do a lot of new stuff, and I saw you like adapting to it like on the fly, and I was like, shit, this is awesome. I like watching some good melee because I could see this happening, and I can see now why this happens less against Samus because you just don't know the game.
I don't know her, no.
Each matchup in Melee is like a language. Most languages in Melee are Latin, English, Spanish, French. Some are not.
Japanese.
Yoshi, Ices. So sometimes there's more crossover than others, and stuff like Spacies are very, very similar languages with a hint of different vocabulary. You know some languages better than others, thus you can't hold conversations in some matchups. This is so I don't know if you know, but I like got good at Melee as a Yoshi player.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and by like I had some like good results. I got top 8 at low tier city too with Yoshi.
Nice.
But then I ended up quitting Yoshi, and it was because of this problem. Because I felt like whenever I was fighting my opponents, they were never speaking the same language as me. They were like really focused on the player versus game aspect, and I wanted to play the player versus player aspect. So I switched to Sheik, which is a very player versus player character. So I like made an intentional choice to like address that I didn't like how much player versus game I was playing versus a lot of my opponents. Because I wanted to speak the same language of the people around me whenever I was playing the game. Which is kind of dramatic and cheesy, but I don't know. I feel like it's true.
Metaphor, I like it because I like languages.
Languages are so cool. And you do not know the Samus language. A lot of what I'm writing is like starting to get you on the vocab of it, but incorporating like this stuff is like natural speaking fluency stuff. It can get really hard, but like once you get it, a lot of other parts of it will come together. I want to focus on when you're hitting me.
Yeah, like when I try to play mindfully, it's like I'm not. It's like I don't get to play like myself, and usually it ends up with me playing like.
Yeah,
a lot
exactly.
worse.
Yeah, when someone doesn't know a matchup, they can't play like themselves. They're just like flailing. It sucks. It it's always frustrating watching someone display a matchup they don't know when they could be like otherwise doing really well. It drives me crazy, which is why I started the How to Destroy Bad Characters Discord. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I haven't.
But I have like a million notes on how to beat a bunch of random low tiers in Melee, because I just want to watch people play the game instead of like almost play it. So okay, I brought up the ground moves are much more dangerous to whiff than air moves thing, and I think this also applies to fading forward aerials. They don't allow escape nearly as much as in place or fade away aerials. If you don't know matchup, you are not allowed to fade in aerials yet.
See, because that's the way I want to play it. But if I don't think and I just play like I want to play, I'm gonna move towards you is what I want to do, and just and fight. But if I'm trying to be mindful and trying to like do something different, I'm gonna do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so mad I didn't get to power shield that other one.
it doesn't matter.
I wanted to.
Well, next time.
That up air was almost certainly not supposed to be a full jump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna bring it up, and I was gonna suggest that it should have been a short hop. This is you being much more active, which is why you get to kill me. I have to watch you and like consider a bunch of choices that you're making right here, and then I do a bad up B and you get to kill me because I was like panicking a bit. Active pressure is very good.
Wow, I wouldn't quite call it a kill. Well, see, I didn't know that you were gonna go so like close to the ledge there.
Mm-hmm.
So close to the ground, like I thought there would be more air time.
Yep.
So I guess it depends on how far down or up she is when she's tethered. How far she like jumps up, or
Samus's tether, once she jumps up, it's always the same distance from the tether. So it's always like one double jump height or so. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I did that up here, I'd be like way up in the air. So because I got a grapple like under your feet, like around there, you like that's why I got to land on the stage so fast. Otherwise I would have been really stuck in the air. What was your goal?
I don't know. That's why I just sat there. I know Marth doesn't get anything. I know Marth doesn't get anything off a forward throw, and by anything I mean a combo. So I was like, do I forward throw? I don't get anything off of it. I was like, well, yeah, I get her off the stage.
No, after the forward throw. Whenever I double jump.
I don't know. I don't know what she's gonna do.
What? Okay.
I was probably trying to like think about the resources or something, you know, from when we were watching the stuff. So I was like hyper fixated, like, okay, where are these bombs, the double jumps, the grapples, are they gonna come out? And then you just do this, and then I'm like, I'm so stuck on trying to think about things, and I can't react to that. If I'm not thinking, I could react to that and hit it probably.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I'd be out there hitting you.
Well, I did do a double jump fair, and I was expecting you to like F tilde fair me again, and then after that double jump fair, I would have had to do the grapple, and then I was gonna up B. So I was testing that like thing you were talking about, because I expended my double jump to do that forward air, and also up tilt would have killed there.
why I don't like thinking in this game. I like to just press buttons and things happen and I do things because I'm just too slow.
You're not too slow. You just don't know the shit yet. You can figure it out though. I fell off.
But now I know that I'm gonna remember that you tried that. That's supposed to work. I saw that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like silly little tricks like that.
All right. Do you want to play one more time?
Yeah. This time I'm just gonna I'm gonna play like normally.
Yeah. Just like vibe it out.
No, why did I close everything?
I'm gonna see if there's any new notes to add from this game, and then I'll call it there.
Okay. Mayonnaise. I hope my computer doesn't do that thing again. Or maybe that was yours, but probably not.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, you have OBS. Right.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Aw.
Yeah, that's you not knowing the MS Paint angles and shit.
No, I... Mm. That didn't
There you
even
go.
kill almost. That's I can't even. That's not even an option. Oh, you got your jump back anyway. All right.
I wanted you to stick around for more.
I was too far away. There. Another thing about that Weapons situation was that Weapons missed their L cancel. Oh, that was supposed to be a pivot.
To kill? Almost.
It's stupid. Yes.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't work for me.
I saw you lost your double jump, so I wanted to fly out there and do something silly.
Yeah. Mm. What the hell? Okay.
That didn't hit. Chicken, please.
Oh, hitting that guy over there.
He looked at me funny.
Yeah, that always work. Always work.
The biggest final note. Be careful about punching while in disadvantage. So stuck in the air. Dare. Counter.
Yeah. I think I like to. No, counter. I think I use counter spitefully because people use counter against Marth use counter against me and it works, but every time I use it, it doesn't work. But I'm about to just start taking it out of my down vocabulary.
That using, so you know how like the like very first stock of this is Weapons dying like kind of early for Samus. That's because he did the equivalent of landing with dare like you did, or landing with counter like you did. He did that, but with Samus. The letting it just gives your opponent way too easy of a time to kill you before you deserve to be killed.
Yeah. And then you were landing with aerials all the time, and I just kept missing it for stupid reasons. Well, one time it was supposed to be a pivot, and then like 2 times I just missed my dash back, and then the other times when I did the wave dash, I was just too far away.
So, Sheik is a character without a lot of end lag on her moves, like landing lag on her moves, right?
Yeah.
Her forward air, back air, neutral air, they all have 8 frames of L cancel lag. Fox, also a character with really good moves, or with low landing lag. Back air has 10 frames of L cancel lag. Up air has 9 frames. Nair has 7 frames. Dare has 9. Then we go to Samus, and all of Samus's aerials have 7 frames, the minimum possible in the game of landing lag, even down air.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Samus just has like 7 is the lowest number in the entire game, except for Pichu. Pichu has neutral air, which is 6 frames, but everything else in the game is 7 or higher, and all of Samus's are 7. It's really weird, which means her down air is the best meteor on shield in the entire game. Like, by far, it is not close. So, this is part of what makes Samus so annoying for a lot of people, is they don't realize that she has really low landing lag on her moves. So
they're all the same. That's neat. They're all even the non-ilk. It's all 15. So that's funny.
Okay, I think that's it.
All right.